How's it going, everybody? This is Jonathan Ortiz coming to you once again from my home studio in Rochester, New York. And I wanted to share something with you guys today that I'm super excited about. It's a project that's been in the works for about 8 months at this point, between myself and a company called Noble Cooley and a company called Puerto Rico Hardwoods, directly from the island. And check it out. This is a 14x6 Noble Cooley solid shell classic snare, made of caoba wood, that's Puerto Rican mahogany straight from the island. All the hardware is handmade, black nickel over brass, including die-cast hoops, the brass strainer and butt end, and low-mass solid brass lugs. The bearing edge on this snare is 45 degrees, handcrafted, and the snares are custom made for Noble Cooley. They are 20-wire cam action snares. To preserve the natural look and beauty of this wood, I went with a natural satin stain finish. So a little while ago, I was watching this video about this drum company called Noble Cooley. That's actually America's oldest drum company. It's been around since 1854. And it was talking about the process by which they make some of their drums, which is a process that dates all the way back to the Civil War, where they would take a single ply of wood and they would steam it and they would bend it and they would put it in these like almost molds that would hold the shape so that as the plank dried, it would kind of retain the shape of a drum. And then they would work on it all by hand throughout the whole process and create this beautiful piece of art, not just an instrument, but a piece of art at the other end of it. And I thought to myself, that is super cool. It's a piece of history in a sense because of the techniques, and the process that they use that dates all the way back to the Civil War. I wonder if they could do something like that with wood from Puerto Rico. First, I contacted Noble Cooley, and I spoke with this guy called Rob. Amazing guy. Cheers, Rob. And I told him, hey, listen, I saw this video. I'm really interested in getting a drum. Could you do a drum like that with wood that is outsourced, that I provide to you from somewhere else? And he says, yeah, it's something that we'd be willing to try and experiment with. Let's see how it goes. Fast forward, not too long after, I got in touch with my buddy Andres from Puerto Rico, who owns a company called Puerto Rico Hardwoods. He's a master craftsman with wood, and he's able to gather wood from around the island to keep it from getting thrown out, and to use it to make table furniture and all these other different things. It's amazing what they do. So I spoke with Andres and I said, hey, I got this project coming up. I have this idea. Would you be able to provide wood for this project from the island? He said, yeah, absolutely. What kind of wood do you want? So we talked about it. I figured out that I really wanted to do something with a wood called caoba wood, which is basically Puerto Rican mahogany. If I understand correctly from what Andres told me, Puerto Rican mahogany, caoba, is actually the hardest mahogany species there is. And so he told me it was going to be a bit of a challenge to try and get that steam bent and turned into, something like a drum, but, let's try it out. So I got 2 planks from him, shipped them up to Rob and Noble Cooley, and the process began. And it was a bit of a waiting game because of how the drums are made, but also because it was unfamiliar territory. This kind of wood that they hadn't dealt with before, like what's going on. They've done work with mahogany, plenty of work with mahogany, but this particular family, this particular type of mahogany, caoba, was something, special. And so of the 2 planks that I sent up there, the first one did not make it through the process because it was so dense. It just cracked when it was in the mold. The second one, however, went through the entire process and it came out to be this beautiful drum that you see here. We ended up with this beautiful experiment, successful, pictures along the way, anticipation building. And it turns out that this was such a pleasant and satisfying experience for them that Noble and Cooley is actually going to develop a line of special edition drums, which are like one-offs, you know, or special custom orders because of this drum, because of the process that we had. And that was kind of my hope that when I got all these, you know, parties together and the idea came to fruition, that there would be a means of like not only inspiring Noble and Cooley, who do make indeed some of the best drums on earth. They're such an awesome group of people. Shout out to them. Much love to you guys. But also a way to get wood from the island, resources from the island out into the world so that people can see like, hey, this is part of what Puerto Rico has to offer. And through Puerto Rico Hardwoods, you can grab so many unique and exotic woods for these different projects that you want to do. And so in this case, it was this drum. And it's beautiful and it's amazing. And when I play it, I feel it in my feet, which is kind of weird. Like, it's not just the energy from the drum doesn't just come from the heads. When you hit that thing, it like comes from every different angle. And it's so tactile, it's so satisfying, the feel of it, and the sound, and just like when you play it, it kind of feels like it affects everything, you know, your entire being, without being like overbearing or you know, drowning out anything else in the kit. It's a one-of-a-kind experience for me, at least, when it comes to drums and snares. Never experienced it before, and it would not have been possible without Noble and Cooley and Puerto Rico Hardwoods. So this is me being a drum nerd, and just, I don't know, being silly, but I wanted to share that with you. In the next video, I'm going to demo it. Obviously, I'll give you the, you know, low, medium, and high tuning samples and all that. But that's the story. That's the story behind this drum. And it's honestly a dream come true. I appreciate you checking it out. If you have a need for exotic woods, for anything that you want to do, please get in touch with Puerto Rico Hardwoods. And if you're willing, if you're daring to go the length, go the distance, and maybe make some magic with Noble and Cooley, reach out to them via their website. You can source your wood from PR Hardwoods to them. And, you know, you won't be disappointed. But anyway, that is my drum nerd kind of dorky spiel. I never do videos like this. Never really put myself out there like that. But it's just so amazing, this drum. And there's so much love that went into it. I'm looking for ways to take that love and put it back out. You know, give it to you, give it to, you know, the rest of the world. Show the world that Puerto Rico still has so much to offer in terms of natural resources. And also that this company that's not like a big mainstream company necessarily. It's still a little like, you know, like if you're a drummer and you know drums, like, you know, Noble and Cooley, sure, but it's not as out there, and it could be. So I don't know. Check them out. They're awesome. Anyway, thank you for checking it out. God bless you guys. I'm going to stop being a nerd now.